In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a landing page for a WordPress blog. I will specifically show you how to create this beautiful landing page using Elementor. A landing page is simply the gateway to your website, where you want to give users the opportunity to go to other pages of your website by providing call to actions. This landing page we'll be building has a hero section with a call to action that will take users of your website to the blog page. It has a popular article section with another call to action, an about section with a call to action, and finally latest article section with a call to action. This section of the page is not part of the main page. It can only be customized in the theme customizer, so we are not going to be talking about this in this tutorial. So if you want to learn how to create this beautiful landing page for your WordPress blog, keep watching.
Hello guys, this is Sadiq here at Dikupages Web, where I do web tutorials just like this one. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. That said, let's jump into the video.
So this is a website I'm going to create my landing page for. It is using the default WordPress homepage, and as you can see in here, we don't have a hero section, we only have this home. And going through the page, there are no call to actions that will take users of this website to the various pages of the website. We only have the blog post being displayed here and some recent blog posts at the sidebar. Now if you want to learn how to make this blog website, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. You can go ahead and check it out. So to create our landing page, we need to install two plugins. So to do that, I go over to the back end of my website. So I click on dashboard and I go over to plugins, click on add new, and the set plugins are set for Elementor. This is the Elementor page builder, which I've already installed and activated, and the second plugin is premium add-ons for Elementor, which I've also installed and activated. So these are the two plugins you will need in order to create your landing page. So in your case, instead of seeing active, you see install now. So you just have to click on install and go ahead and activate. So having installed and activated our plugins, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create a page. So I'll go over to pages, then I click on add new, and the title, I give my page a title. So I say home page. Then I go ahead and click on edit with Elementor. Now in the Elementor editor, you see that I have home page here, which I don't need. And looking down here below, our page is not published yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this home page. To do that, I go over to settings and I'll hide the title. Next is page layout. I drop down the arrow here and choose Elementor full width, and the page will reload, and you see that the title home page is gone. On top here is our header section, and down here below is the footer section of the website. So all what we are going to be doing is going to be in the middle here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and insert my hero section. So I click on the plus icon right here, I choose single column, and the height, I drop down the arrow and choose minimum height. So in here I change the minimum height. The default is set to 400, so if you want it to be 500, you can do that. So you can choose whatever minimum height you want. Next, I'm going to choose a background image for my section. So I click on style. In the background type, I choose classic, and I go down here and choose my image. I can go to upload files and select a file from my computer, but I already have some images here I can use. So I'll go ahead and choose this. Then I click on insert media. Perfect. And you see that my image is being repeated. I don't want that. And the position, I choose center right, and then repeat, I choose no repeat. Awesome. And I'm going to add a background overlay so that if I add my text, it will stand out. So on the background overlay, background type, I choose classic, and I'll choose black. Awesome. And then the opacity, you can increase it or decrease depending upon what you want. So I'll keep mine as 0.5. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my text. To do that, I go over to Elements by clicking on the 9 dots icon right here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the heading elements and drop it here. In here, I go ahead and enter my text, and I'm going to center it right here. Next, I go over to Style, and the text color, I change it to white. Typography, I increase the size to 70. Next, I go back to Elements, then I'm going to go ahead and grab the text editor, drop it right here, and in here I enter my text. Next, I go over to Style, text color, I change it to white. Typography, I increase the size to 20, and I'm going to go ahead and center it. Next, I go back to Elements, and I'm going to go ahead and add a button. I will center it. In the text, I enter in Learn More, and I can link it to whatever page I want the button to direct my visitors. So I'll go ahead and enter in this text. Next, I increase the size of the button to medium or maybe large. I think large is cool. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and customize my button. So I go over to Style, the text color, I'll make it white, and then the background color, I can choose any color from here, but I have a color I want to use, so I just go ahead and paste it in here. Now if I hover on it, you won't see any action. So to set a hover color, I go over to hover, and the text, I make it white, and then background color, I enter in the same color, but this time around a lighter version of it. Perfect. So if I hover, you see the changes. Awesome. And now the hero section of my landing page is done. Next, I'm going to insert a section for my popular articles. So I click on insert section right here, and I'm going to go ahead and choose single column. Next, I add in a title. So I go to the elements, and I grab the heading element. I center it, and I'll go ahead and enter my text. Next, I go over to Elements, and I search for blog. I'm going to go ahead and use this premium blog. That is the only option I have, and we are getting this as a result of the premium add-ons for Elementor plugin. That's why you see PA right here. So I grab it and drop it under popular post. So we have our post inserted, and currently it is set to 2 columns, as you can see in here. And these are the options we are going to use in order to customize the look and feel of our post. So we start from general. Under skin, you have different options you can choose. So if I choose modern, this is how modern will look like. If I choose on site, this is how it will look like. For this tutorial, I'm going to keep it on classic, and I'll leave it as grid. Number of columns, I change it to 3, and post per page, I'll increase it to 6. Next, I go to query. There are a whole lot of options in here, but I'm not going to type them. The only thing I'm going to work on is order by. So currently it is set to recent blog post. That is why you see date here. So I drop down the arrow. In here, you go ahead and decide the parameters for your popular post. So you can either go with random or number of comments. And since I don't have much comments on my website, I'll go for random so that it will always display some random blog posts. Next, I go to featured image. So this is the featured image. You see that it is currently set to zoom in upon hover. I can change that under hover effect. So I drop down the arrow. For this tutorial, I'm going to keep it as grayscale. So if I hover now, you see that it is now in grayscale mode. Perfect. Next, I'm not going to work on display options, but you can go there and see the various options you have. So next, I go to post options. The first thing I'm going to work on is show post content. Currently it is enabled. That is what we see here. I don't need this text here, so I toggle this off so that the post content is gone. So all these are options I have in here. I actually don't need all of them except categories meta. So I toggle off author meta, that is the name of the author. of the content. You see that author name is gone. So dates, I don't need that, as well as comments. I only need categories meta. Awesome. Next is advanced settings. I click on it. You see that currently it is set to open links in a new tab. So if visitors click on any of these posts, it will open in a new tab, and I don't want that, so I toggle this off. And that's all about the settings I'm going to do under content. Next, I go over to style. I'm not going to work on image. I go to title. You can change the typography here if you want, but I'll keep it as default. I'm using Montserrat. The color, I don't want this color. I'm going to go ahead and choose black, maybe a gray color like this. And the hover color, I make it more grid. Perfect, something like that. So if I hover, it will change like this. Awesome. Next is metadata. That is the categories I have here. In the color, I'm going to go ahead and enter the blue color I used earlier. And hover is going to be the same thing, but a lighter version of it. Awesome. Next, I go to box. I'm not going to work on content box. I click on box. The background color of the box, you can change it. That is the background color you see right here, but I'll leave it as it is. The only two things I'm going to work on is spacing and padding. For spacing, before we see it in action, I'll first of all enter maybe 30. You see the spacing now in between the grids. It's very large, so this is not what I'm going to use. I'll make it 10. And then padding, before we see it in action, let me enter 30. You see the padding now, but I'm going to keep it as 5, so I just enter 5. Perfect. So that's all the settings I want to do here. Next, I'm going to add a call to action. In order not to design a new button, I'll just go ahead and copy this. Right click, click on copy. Now come down here, right click, click on paste. And it will also take me to the same page. The only thing I need to do is change this text. So I'll change it to go to all posts. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and add some padding. So I click on edit section right here. Under advanced, I unlink the values and the padding. Then top, I make it 50. Then bottom, I make it 50. Awesome. And now my popular post section is done. The next section I'm going to add is my about section. So I click on add section right here, and I choose double column. Next, I go over to elements and I drag in the heading element. In here, I enter about. Next, I go back to elements and I drag in the text editor. And in here, I go ahead and enter my about text. And down here below, I need a button that will take users of my website to the about page when they click on it. I can easily do that by copying this button. Copy, right click down here, click on paste. Currently it is set to center. I align it left, and I'll change the text. More info, and the link, I remove what is here. I can just search for about, and it will give me the best match. I have about us. I click to insert the link. So this particular column is done. Next is this column, and I need an image here. So I go over to elements and I drag in the image element. Then I go ahead and choose my image. I'll choose this image. Then I click on insert media, but I don't need it this big. So I'll go over to style. The width, I change it to 65. Awesome. And you see that my about section and then the popular post section are all having the same background color. I don't want that. So what I can do is I go to the popular post section, click on edit section, and I go over to style, background type, I choose classic, and I'm going to go ahead and make it white. Perfect. And then the about section, I click on edit section, and I go over to style. I'm going to change the background, so background type classic, and I'm going to go ahead and enter this color code F5 F5 F5. Then I'll go ahead and add some padding under advanced. I unlink the values. Top, I make it 50, bottom 50. As you can see, my text is somehow hanging on top. So what I can do is I go to layout, and the vertical align, I drop down the arrow, then I choose middle. Perfect. So now every single element is in the middle of the section. The about section is done. The final section I'm going to insert is the latest blog post section. So I click on the plus icon to add my section, single column. Or what I can do is I can go ahead and copy the whole of this section. So I point on edit section, right click on it, copy, come down in here. Then I go ahead and remove this. Then I right click here, click on paste, so that I will work faster. I don't have to design everything from scratch again. So what I need to do is I change this title to latest posts and guides. Maybe I can add some text under it. So I go over to elements and I drag in the text editor, and I'll go ahead and enter my text in here. I go to style and I center it. For the blog post cards, I don't need this same style, so I click on the pencil icon to edit it. Take note, the previous one was set to 6 posts per page, so for this I'll make it 12. Next I go to query. Remember I set the order by to random, so now it's going to be date, simply because I want to display latest articles. Next I go over to post options. For this particular section I'm going to show post content, so I enable it. And then I also want to show the date meta, so I toggle that on as well. Maybe the except type, I can change it from dots to link, so that I have a button for my users to click on, and the text I'll have on it is read more. Awesome. So these are all the settings I want to do under content. Next I go to style. Under style, the only thing I want to do is go ahead and customize the read more text. So I go over to button. Under normal, I'll change the color to white, that is the text color, and then the background I change it to this blue color. Going down, the padding I enter 15. Perfect. But I don't have any hover style, so I can go to hover. The text color can be white as well, and then the background color I enter this blue, but a lighter version of it. Perfect. So now my latest post section is done. I don't need to worry about this button because it's already linked to the same page as this one. So take note, our page is not published yet, so I just go ahead and click on publish. Hooray, your page is live. The last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and optimize my page for mobile devices. So I go over to responsive mode, click on it. So currently it is set to desktop. I click on tablets. Starting from top, maybe I can decrease the text. So I just click here. Take note, this will only change for tablets. I go over to typography. I will make it 60 or maybe 55. As you can see, this text here is almost touching the end of my page. I don't want that, so I select it. Then I go over to advanced. I'm not going to decrease the size. So under advanced, I unlink the values and the padding. Then right, I make it 50, left 50. Perfect. And the button is cool. However, if you want to change the font size, all what you need to do is just go to style, then click on the pencil icon under typography. You can change it from here. Maybe I can make it 18 so that I'll have it in 3 lines. Going down here, everything else is cool. I don't need to do anything. It's perfect. The about section 2 is cool. Perfect. Now I can go to mobile, and starting from top, oh, this is not looking nice, so I can select it. I go over to style and the typography. Maybe I'll make it 40. I think 40 is cool. And here, because of the pattern I added, you see that it's too squashed, so I go over to advanced. I unlink the values. Right, I can make it 10 and left 10. Awesome. The button is cool. Better still, I can add some spacing on top and bottom. So I click on edit section. Then I go over to advanced. I unlink the values and the padding, top I enter 20, bottom 20. Going down, everything else will be cool. Perfect. One thing I can do here, I can center about like this, as well as the button. Perfect. Maybe the text itself, I can center it, but everything will depend upon how you want your page to be displayed. One other thing I want to do is, I want this image, that is this column, to be on top of the about column. So what I can do is, I select the whole section, that is edit section, then I go over to advanced, and the responsive, I enable reverse column for mobile like this, so that the image will be on top. Awesome. And the rest of them is cool. Perfect. I just go ahead and update, and now I can view my page. Perfect. Very neat and clean. Now we have designed the landing page, or let's say the home page, but if I go to the home page of the website, we'll still see the boring home page, which we don't want. So how can we fix this? To fix this, I go back to the dashboard of my website. So I exit to dashboard. From here, I click on the WordPress logo, then I go over to settings, click on reading. You see that my home page displays the latest post. That's why we are seeing this boring page. So to change it, I choose a static page, then under home page, I drop down the arrow and I go ahead and choose the page I created, which is home page. Take note, this page can bear any name. It doesn't really have to be home page. It can be home, it can be front page, anything. Then going down, I click on save changes. Now if I come back to the home page and refresh, you see our beautiful landing page. Perfect. Very neat and clean. So now my landing page is done. So that's it on how to create a landing page for your blog using Elementor. And I hope this video was helpful. If you found value, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and also enable the notification bell so that each time I post a new video on this channel, you'll be the first to know. Keep watching, and I'll see you in the next one.